Yeah, that's wishful thinking.
Wishful thinkers, what's going on? Oday,
What's up?
appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
We got a bunch of stuff to talk about here.
It's gonna be sweet. Let's take it from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Or let them know about yourself.
what always works for us is starting from the beginning. So,
Okay.
who are you? What do you do?
Well, my name's Oday. I'm a pilot. I just graduated from Kent State back in December. What's next is just get my flight hours in, and then hopefully going on to an airline here pretty soon. Like I'd say within 2 years, I'd be off to the airlines. That's like my main thing, my main goal. Other than that, I do work in real estate, more like investment properties, rental properties, stuff like that.
Right.
I do want to expand, touch other areas like Airbnb.
Yeah.
Ever heard of like the travel nursing?
Yep.
Like
Oh yeah,
short-term
yeah,
rentals.
those are huge.
Yep.
Even like flipping a house is all things I want to touch in the near future. But yeah.
Cool. So we'll start from the beginning. So for you to be a pilot, did you always want to be a pilot? Where did that love for that? Where did that come from?
So, graduated high school 2020,
And you went to high school where?
Nerdonia High School.
Nordonia High School.
Nordonia.
Another common theme here.
Million Nordonians.
Million Nordonians, but a lot of successful people coming out of Nordonia.
Yeah.
They're all fueling the podcast right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
We went to school together.
Yes, we did.
I know him and all his brothers. I know your whole family.
Yep.
All great people.
Yep.
So continue, Nordonia.
Graduated high school not knowing exactly what I wanted to do. Looking around, researching around, asking people, I've came to the decision on majoring in civil engineering at University of Akron.
Okay.
Did 1 year over there. Was not liking it. Engineers, they make good money,
Right.
but not to the level I want to. I'm not trying to diss on any engineers. They're all successful. They're all doing great.
Right.
It's not to where I see myself.
Right.
Starting pay was around like 60, 70K.
Mm.
And you're just getting that corporate raise every year or so.
Right.
Honestly, TikTok was there. And I'm scrolling. I see this one TikToker who's a pilot. It's actually a female. She works at Southwest. I still watch her to this day. And she was like doing like these days in the life and just stuff like that. And I'd constantly watch her. I'm like, yo, it's actually not bad. Now, I took a couple days to myself. There's like midsummer. I'm done with Akron.
Is this
Finished my
first year after Akron?
After first year, yeah. So this is during the summertime. And I kind of took a couple days to myself, just like wondering, would I switch? Is this something I can see myself doing? Mind you, Nick, you know me. I come from a Middle Eastern household, very true to my culture as well.
Yeah. We're going to touch on that too.
Yeah.
Just the whole Middle Eastern culture,
Yeah.
the family life,
Exactly.
all that.
Now knowing a pilot, you're away from home around
Majority.
like half the month.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're not sleeping at your house either. So it gets touchy
Yeah.
when you're like trying to come into the Middle Eastern culture. I sat my mom, me and her. I remember it was sometime in like late June. I sit outside with her. She's having her coffee. I just go, Mom, I got some things to tell you. I told her I don't want to be an engineer. She said, okay, that's fine. What do you want to do? Like, what do you see yourself being? What do you see yourself doing? I told her I want to be a pilot. And I told her, like, I already know what you're going to say with us being Arab, stuff like that. She goes, honestly, it's no issue. If that's what you want to do, you go be who you want to be. It's simple as that. I'm like, okay. She wasn't who I was worried about, though. I was worried about my dad.
Your dad. I know your dad.
Exactly. So I took what she said and slept on it. Took like the next day or two just thinking about that.
Right.
Also, rewind just a little bit. I asked her about marriage as well. Because, again, in a Middle Eastern marriage, the man should be at home, kind of like protecting the family, taking care of the family,
Right.
Doing from A to Z.
Right.
And I asked her about that. She was like, that's no issue either. You marry someone who is good with the family, good with the kids, good all around. That isn't something you should be worried about. I said, done deal, easy enough. So I go to my dad. We're at the dinner table. I'm like, I got something to tell you. He was like, go for it. I told him I don't want to be an engineer anymore. He's like, okay. I told him I want to be a pilot. It's something I'm pretty interested in. He was like, all right. He took it pretty well. He honestly didn't rebuttal me at all. Said, if that's what you want to do, I'll support you. So after I had like the okay from both of them,
You were sold.
I was sold to like go do whatever I want to be.
Yeah.
And simple as that.
Were you worried leading up to those conversations that they would decline?
Yeah.
And what if they both said no? Would you still?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
So their perspective on what you're going to do is very important to you,
Of
you'd say?
Of course. Everything I do is for them.
That's big in the Arab culture.
Of course. Everything I do is for them.
Yeah.
Everything my dad's done for me, like, it's just my job to repay that.
Right.
Repay that to my mother as well.
And I kind of want to spin it back too, because I don't know what word you used. It was an Arabic word that you said because when you told your mom that you want to be a pilot, she said that you were. What was the word?
He said Arab. He just said
Yeah.
it
Oh,
in
Arab?
Arab.
Oh yeah. So
Era, but
He just said it in Arabic.
What does that have to do with being a pilot though? Is it just like what you said, like being away from home and all that was the main thing?
Yep.
Family is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's number one
it is number one.
in Arab culture. I'm not Arab, I'm Greek, but I have 2 Arab brothers.
Hmm.
And it's number one. So by him being a pilot, him being away half the time,
Mm-hmm.
because you guys still live there, right? You guys like still all live together.
Yeah.
You have 2 older brothers,
Mhm.
and you have an older sister.
I do.
Right.
She's moved out, but she's married.
She's moved out. She's married. When
Yep.
you get married, you move out.
Yep.
In the Arab culture. So walk us through that Arab culture.
Yeah.
For those, I obviously understand, but for those
Yeah.
at home who don't
I
understand,
don't understand.
he doesn't
so
understand at all.
I'd love to
Walk us through that Arab culture.
Well, there's a lot to it.
Of course.
Like what you said, family's first, no matter what.
Right.
Family's first and last. Other than that, again, it's like very family oriented. Everything you do is with your family. You do everything for your family.
Mm-hmm.
It's your life basically just is surrounded by them.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as, hey, when you're 18, you go move out and go live on your own and go pay someone rent. No, you're going to stay within that house.
Yeah.
You're going to build yourself from that house. And when you're ready, you go off, get married, and then,
And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that seems so foreign to an average Westerner.
mhm.
You get 18, you move out, you get your own house, your own mortgage, you find a wife, you'll live your own separate life.
Yeah, no, there's none of that.
It's not like that at
None
all.
of that, no.
And I think
Nah.
that's beautiful though, because I mean, some parents will kick you out
Yes.
at 18. Like you're on your own, go figure it out, and then that could lead to destruction.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Especially if
it
you're not
isn't-
prepared.
Yep. It's not like that at all.
At least the alcohol, drugs.
Nothing
Stuff-
good comes
yeah.
from that. Because and most people, honestly, I'd say when you're 18, you think that you're ready. You think you have the
No,
answers. You're
not
like
at all.
let's go, but it's not.
If I had
that
the
case
option to
at
move
all.
out, I wouldn't right
Wouldn't.
now. I really wouldn't.
So
The
how does
support I
that
have-
work though too? It's like once you're 18, do you have to like pay to live there,
No, not at all.
or they
There-
just
not at all.
support you
There's,
because
there's like a saying in the culture. It's like your dad's house. That's your dad's house. That's your house forever.
yeah.
Explain to us that same goal. Like you guys were all under the same roof.
Mm-hmm.
Your father, successful in business, both your brothers, you guys are all successful in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are all on the same goal.
Of course.
You guys all drive nice cars. You guys all live a good life, alhamdulillah. So explain to us how being together makes that goal a reality.
It makes it way easier. Way easier. When you have that support around you 24/7 and your mom and your dad constantly pushing you. Your brother's always checking in on you, making sure, hey, how'd that flight exam go? Or, hey, how'd the semester go? How'd it end with you? Oh, it went bad? Oh, how? What can you do better?
Right.
Your mom knows when you have an exam, what time you have to wake up, make sure she's fed you before you left the house. From A to Z, they're taking care of you. They're supporting you. It's like takes pressure off your shoulders. People might see that as a lot of pressure onto you,
Mm-hmm.
but no. Your parents just want the best for you. Your
Right.
brothers want the best for you. Your sister wants the best for you. It just makes it way easier.
So is there any like maybe like a little bit of like competitiveness between you
No,
guys
not at
ever, or
all.
is it all
Not at
just
all.
support and love at all times?
Not at all. I want my brothers to be better than me, but I know where I'm gonna be.
Right.
So it's gonna be a lot for them to be better than me. But I do want that deep
Yeah.
down.
It's the same way with my brother and I.
Exactly.
My brother makes a killing. He works his butt off. He's a great guy. There's literally no competitiveness at all between my brother and I. Like you said, I want him to be the best he can be, and I already know that I'm going to be great. So it's like we're all going to be great.
Exactly.
So both of your brothers are doctors, right? What type of doctors?
Podiatric.
So both of his brothers are podiatrist doctors. He's a pilot. You could just imagine the level of, I don't even want to say it's not stress, but like the level of importance that's put on.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your brother's a doctor, you can't be nothing.
So was there like a lot of
Yeah,
pressure on
yeah,
you with
yeah,
that? Like you're like,
Yeah.
my brothers are both doctors. Like I gotta.
Yeah, so back when I graduated high school, I told my dad I didn't want to be a doctor. I don't do well touching people like that. Blood grosses me out, stuff like that.
Understandable. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just didn't want to be a doctor. But he didn't say it, but I knew it. Your brothers are doctors. Don't be
Mess it up.
Exactly. Live up to your brothers as
Yeah.
well. And that's, of course, what I want to do. They're my older brothers. I look up to them.
Right.
Everything I do, I want to make them proud too.
Amazing. So let's take it back to being a pilot.
Okay.
So you finally got the approval. What did your brothers say when you told them you wanted to be a pilot?
They were on board.
Yeah.
They were on board. They liked it. They're like, that's cool. You know, Ali, he specifically told me, he was like, I like what you're doing. How many Middle Eastern men do you see go be pilots?
Very little.
Very, very
Like
little.
doctor is like stereotypical almost.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, I'm very happy what you're doing. Going out and I guess let it be known that like, hey, like Middle Eastern men, Arab men can do exactly what everyone else can.
Yeah.
You know? We're not just only lawyers, doctors, engineers. You can be a pilot, you can do whatever. And
So how was your faith as a Muslim like shaped your outcome as being like a pilot and an entrepreneur, would you say?
honestly, religion and personal life don't mix that much, to be honest.
Really?
Kind of. But when you're doing anything in life, there's right and wrong.
Right.
But being a Muslim and being a Christian, it's not much difference on what's right and what's wrong.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't say religion had any like.
It doesn't play on anything, you
Not
wouldn't
much,
say?
Not much. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Just because I'm a Muslim doesn't mean my right and wrong is different than your right
I think
and
the cultural aspects probably played more than the religious
Yeah.
aspects.
wrong. Yeah. I mean, religiously, there's nothing stopping me from becoming a pilot. You know.
So you got the approval from your parents. Your brothers are on board. You just spent a year at Akron. You
Yep.
graduated high school, spent a year at Akron doing civil engineering. Was that all just gen ed stuff?
Pretty much.
So it wasn't necessarily a waste.
No.
You switched your major. Why'd you choose Kent? Because they had a good flight program, or?
Honestly, I chose Kent because it was the nearest flight program.
Oh yeah, because you wanted to stay home, stay
course.
close to home because of your family.
Of course.
You didn't live on campus, right? You
Commuted.
commuted because of your family.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's not a far drive, like 30 minutes, right?
35-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you chose Kent because it was close to home. They do have a good flight. They have their own airport.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Out in
To be
Stowe.
honest. That's sweet.
So there's different types of aviation, I assume, right? Is there different
Yeah.
types of pilots?
Yeah. So there's a military aspect of things. There's commercial, and then there's general aviation.
And you're in the commercial.
Right now, I'm currently in the general aviation, which is kind of like your smaller single-engine planes that I'm flying around. Now, I'm working my way to the commercial.
So walk us through school as a pilot.
Yeah. So you have your physics, you have your all these flight dynamic classes, aviation law, all these type of classes. That's what you're doing on main campus. But you're at the airport getting your main licenses that you need to become a commercial pilot. So you have your private pilot license, your instrument rating, commercial license, which I am finishing up here right now. And then there's your multi-engine. That one I'll get later on. I don't need it right now.
Multi-engines for the bigger planes like the Airbus
is-
and stuff?
it's-
Or
Basically what I'm flying now, but just one engine on each side.
okay.
So how many like written classes and stuff do you have to go through before they let you like enter
You can fly right off the rip.
right off
At
right
Kent
off
State,
bat?
Your
Really?
first semester you can fly.
So how did you feel like your first time flying?
was scared.
Were you able to fly immediately, or did you kind of have to
So,
co-pilot and wait?
actually, when I first told my dad I want to become a pilot, he took me like a week later, we went to Burke Lakefront Airport in downtown.
Because you could do a test pilot.
You do a discovery flight is what they call
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Because there was a point in my life where like I didn't want to do it as a career, but I just wanted to have a pilot's license just for,
Yeah.
Just why
for
not?
fun.
Yeah.
And you could take a discovery flight.
Yeah.
What is like a couple $100?
200.
Yeah,
And
$200.
what is that? Because I don't even know. Like,
So it was just like 1 hour long. You and an instructor would go up. He'll let you fly the controls a little bit. He'll like show you how it is, and you just come back to land, and that's
It'd be
it.
cool to
You
do
did-
just for
you
$200.
had no fear or nothing. Like, you were just like, let's
I
go.
was scared. I was scared. I was terrified actually.
Are you still scared
No.
as you fly?
No, I
so
have,
so
like-
when did you get like comfortable with it?
Honestly, like 5 to 10 hours in.
How many hours do
Really?
you have under your belt now?
300.
300 hours.
So it only took 5 to 10 hours for you to feel comfortable flying.
Yeah.
Because I've flown like passenger on a plane, and I'm like a little nervous to this day.
No, those are nothing. Those are nothing. I was a baby going on these 15-hour flights back to Palestine.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to you. You've just always been
Yeah,
on
flying is nothing to me. Although there has been a lot of stuff in recent news of,
It
That's what I'm
has.
saying. That's
Yes.
crazy.
but I think a lot of it is intentional.
I want to call it intentional. I think there's a couple reasons for each scenario. Like, I don't know if you remember the helicopter crashing into that passenger plane in D.C.
Yep.
Well, that one, it was known. There's an air traffic control shortage. Huge shortage. That wouldn't have happened, I don't think, if it was just, regular staff working at that time. And then other things could have been pilot error.
A lot of sensor fails, especially with the 737 MAX.
Yeah. But Trump, back in his first term, grounded all those 737 Maxes
Mm.
and kind of like recalled them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I believe
They fixed that sensor
they're
issue?
fixed now, yeah,
Because correct me if I'm wrong, it was the sensor in the nose that made the plane flies like this, right? And the sensor is what tells you if the plane is going like this. And so they thought it was like this, but they're really going like this.
yes, but there's actually something in the back, like on the horizontal tail. There's a vertical tail and the horizontal.
Mm-hmm.
Something on that horizontal part that pitches that nose up or down, and that was a faulty thing.
Mm.
So
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay. So you get to camp.
Yep.
300 hours later, you are now. Are you allowed to fly? You can't fly people yet,
I
can
can.
you? You
I
can.
I can fly family, friends, anyone.
Family, friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you but you can't go to like Delta and fly an airplane full of people.
No. So that one I need 1,000 hours.
Oh wow.
So that's why I'm.
So what are you allowed to fly now? Like, is it like how many? So when you started off, right, you said 5 to 10 hours. Is there like ranks of planes that go along with the hours?
Kind of. Usually, the more experience you have under your belt, the bigger plane you're able. But again, like they're like the FAA categorizes them into each I guess class,
Mm.
and it gets into the deep, and I wouldn't really get into all that right now. But really, any single engine, general aviation plane, I can fly.
So are you still in school right now?
So I'm finishing up my commercial license. Really, all I have left is the flight test.
Did you finish your degree from Kent State?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, aeronautical science.
So you're finishing up. Are you working?
No,
So you can't go into a career right out of college.
until I have those 1,000 hours.
What if you accumulated them during school? Would you have been able to go right in?
Mhm.
And how come you didn't accumulate those during school?
It's impossible.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. So I said like another year or two, I'll be now that I'm done with the school aspect of things, I need a year or two of just getting my flight hours in. I'd be able to go to airlines.
So what is a pilot? What is a non-Arab pilot who has his own bills? Like how do you leave college and start making money as a
Now,
pilot?
what they could do is become a flight instructor.
Okay.
So you can teach students how to fly.
Okay.
Kind of like how there's instructors.
You could also
that
probably go
fly.
to like ATC, right? Air
You
traffic
could,
control.
I could. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a really good program for them.
Is there a way where you can like Uber plane, kinda? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ferry flights.
Is that something
Kind of.
that you would be interested
I
in
can
doing?
relocate planes
Yeah.
for people. Yeah.
Is there like a business behind that or an app that does that?
So
Like the
usually
Uber
that
planes.
really ties into aircraft brokering. So you conduct a sale for two people buying and selling a plane, and the buyer said, "Okay, but I'm in Florida sellers in Michigan.
You would transport that plane.
I would be able to fly that plane from Michigan down to Florida.
Okay. Now, what if instead of like, how they charter yachts, what if you chartered a plane? Like, hey, Hadley and I want you to take us to Miami. I don't feel like taking a regular Delta. I'll pay you whatever. Can you do that?
You're getting into a very, very, very gray area within aviation on if that's legal or not.
And why?
You're getting into the meats of it. Something called common carriage. And if I'm allowed to do common carriage, as a commercial pilot with just a commercial license, I am not allowed to do common carriage. Why? Because I'm not allowed to advertise myself saying, hey, I'm a pilot. I can fly anyone and anywhere.
So if it was
according to the FAA.
So if it was just like, hey, we're about to just go fly to Miami to do it, then
so
you could do it as like a friend thing.
I'm speaking on this podcast saying I'm a pilot. If someone reaches out to me from this podcast saying, hey, can you fly me from here to here?
No,
I cannot.
Right.
Because I'm advertising myself.
But because we're friends,
yes,
you could.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
It just couldn't be like a transaction.
It can be after I get my commercial license. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a question. This might be a little silly, but like I'm honestly genuinely curious. Is there like, because Tom Cruise flies planes, right? But he's doing barrel rolls and stunts and stuff like that. Is that a different license, or are you kind of just like at your own risk in the air if you want to try to barrel roll a plane?
It's just an endorsement. So it's not like a whole license. Just go up with an instructor on an aerobatic plane, and he'll just sign you off whenever he feels that you're ready to fly an aerobatic plane to do all those stuff.
Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
No. Now the G-forces,
It's very dangerous.
The G-forces that you feel within your body doing those stuff is tough.
I was watching, literally last night, I was watching a documentary at whatever platform, but it was about the Blue Angels.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know the Blue Angels?
Yeah.
Did you watch the documentary or no?
No.
Very good. Very good. These guys, and that leads me to another question, but this documentary just takes you, these guys are incredible. These pilots of these Blue Angels, you're experiencing 7 to 8 G's of force.
It's crazy.
Enough to knock you out like that. And if you're not trained mentally, physically to the furthest extent, you'll pass out on the plane, you'll die.
The rigs
not
they
only
put
kill
those
yourself,
people in is crazy.
not even kill yourself, you can kill your team as well, because these guys are flying these jets.
Yeah.
There's sometimes as little as 12 inches of separation between the wingtips. Like they're flying that close. These are two planes. They're like overlapping, and they're 12 inches away from each
You ever
other.
been to the air show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at Parker
Insane.
Hannafin, which is a company that makes parts for all airplanes.
Wow.
They sponsor the air show. So I did a community event with them where I like volunteered. I got to meet a bunch of the pilots for the Blue Angels. It was cool.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend watching that. It's crazy. So my question to you is being a pilot, how you're obviously not flying at those extreme G-forces.
No.
Is there physical requirements behind being a pilot? Like, do you have to be super in shape? Because these guys are doing rigorous
But
training.
you should be. Not really, but you should be. We do once a year medical exam.
Oh, yeah?
1 year I go into that doctor's office and he doesn't sign my medical off. I'm done flying.
Now, what does that entail? Just being
it's like
BMI
it's like a normal physical. They check your eyesight too, stuff like that. Pee in a cup, stretches, normal stuff.
So just normal physical.
Yeah.
Can you fly a plane if you need glasses?
You can. You
Really?
can. But you just have to make sure you're wearing those glasses at all times.
At all times.
Yeah.
Does it have to be glasses, or can you use contacts?
I don't know. I don't wear glasses or contacts.
That'd be crazy though. Like I don't know if this guy needs to wear glasses. He's flying a plane. It's a little crazy. I don't know. That's wicked that they allow people to do that. So have you ever had like any like thing crazy happen, or you feel like you like almost lost control, or had to fly through like a storm, or like anything like that?
No. Flying through a storm, never.
Never flew through a storm.
Ever. It's
Big
recommended.
ground flights because of weather.
Yeah, you
Really?
recommend stay 20 miles away from a storm.
Really, 20 miles
Yeah.
away. That makes.
Because lightning, I mean.
Hail
Anything?
coming out of the thunderstorm.
So you got to prepare. You got to like really like look at the
yeah,
weather and
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
they know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're not just up there and then it's about to start raining.
I've encountered some severe turbulence. Not fun.
Really.
Not fun at all.
And like, what is that caused by?
During the summertime, you'll get a lot of turbulence, unstable air, heat, all that heat rising. That's why we get so many thunderstorms in the summertime, because there's a lot of heat rising. That causes a lot of turbulence. Just know, like on a summer day, there's no clouds blocking that sun. It's gonna be a bumpy flight.
What do you do to like
Just gotta keep fighting it. That's all you can do. Just keep fighting.
It's almost like when you're driving on the highway and the wind's pushing your car, kind of.
Yeah, or like there's a whole bunch of potholes. You're dodging all the potholes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Let's talk about the financial aspects of becoming a pilot. Obviously,
Yeah.
it sounds expensive.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it pays for,
Yeah.
So first, getting your degree, that's expensive. Everybody knows you can do your own research at home what a degree from Kent State is.
Yep.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the financial means of achieving 300 flight hours and then 1,000 flight hours.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
What all goes into that? What are the costs associated? How can you do it the cheap way, the expensive way?
your licenses, private pilot license. That's the license you can get to take up family and friends whenever you want.
How much is that?
15,000
15,000.
on the low end. Wow. I'm
All
like
right.
no. I'm like a medium.
All right, so let's keep a tally on the screen. So the degree, we're just gonna do rough number, 100 G's.
No. At
60?
Kent State, no. Because let's say you get FAFSA in there too, some scholarships. You might be paying like $2-3K a semester.
So 30.
Sure.
Okay, 30 G's. 15 to get your license. We're at 45.
Instrument, another 15.
Instrument, as in like a plane.
So instrument, that's like an add-on to your private license that allows you to fly inside of the clouds,
Okay, so that's another 15.
Really?
which every pilot needs.
So now we're at 60.
Wow.
All
Yep.
right.
Commercial license.
Okay, how much?
This was an expensive one. Maybe 20.
80 grand. Wow. Okay. This is just licenses and schooling.
Yeah.
We haven't even got into anything else. Okay, so what else?
And then you're looking at your multi-engine.
So the plane itself, or that's another license?
That's another license to be able to fly planes with 2 engines.
Okay.
That's around that's the cheapest one, honestly, because it's the lowest amount of flight hours you need for that. Looking between like 5 and 7K.
All right. So we're at 85.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have your licenses just like that. If you want to
Are
become
those licenses for life?
Yeah.
Okay. So one-time fee, not a.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you have to retake the test though?
No.
Is there continuing education?
So every 2 years, there's something called a flight review, where you just need to go see a flight instructor and just touch up on some things for an hour. Maybe more if that instructor feels you need more review, but that's it.
Okay. So 85, you got all those certifications. Any more?
Then if you want to teach students, that's what the majority of the people go to.
So that 85 we're at now, that'll get you flying a commercial Delta plane with passengers.
No.
Oh.
'Cause that won't get you 1,000 hours.
Okay. So to get to there, do you need another license?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Now it's kind of like you choose your own route. There's people who become flight instructors. Now to be a flight instructor, you need a flight instructor rating license. So that's another 10-ish, 10-ish K. If you want to become an
If
instructor.
you want to go that route,
I don't want to be an instructor. I don't like teaching people. I just not.
you just want to fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Um,
We'll leave that off.
yeah.
85 still.
But what me and my friend did is we decided to buy our own small plane.
Okay.
Buying the plane was 60K.
Okay. So now we're
we
at.
have maintenance, fuel, insurance, and hangar.
Okay. So hold on a second. That's a lot of money already. So okay, 80. Okay. So why buy your own plane? What's the benefit of buying your own plane?
It's cheaper in the long run.
Yeah.
Then because we don't want to become instructors,
Why is it
we
cheaper?
don't want to teach. Your other route is
Renting a plane?
renting a plane, which is around like 200. No, like I'm sorry, like 60 to 70 bucks per hour,
Okay. So times 1,000
Times, like,
hours.
700 ish.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
After they're done with the schooling,
And you still have to pay for fuel if you rent it
And
and
fuel.
a hangar fee.
Wow.
No, if you're renting, you don't have to pay hangar.
Okay.
You need renters, like a renter's insurance.
Okay.
That makes
Type
sense.
deal.
too.
Okay. So you buy the plane, 60 G's.
Yeah.
That gets you to your what's the fuel consumption looking like on these
6
things?
gallons per hour.
Wow. So
At six-
6,000
at,
hours.
at 6 gallons an hour.
So
Or I'm
6
sorry.
gallons an hour.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 gallons an hour at $6 a gallon.
Okay, so 6 gallons an hour. So that's 6,000 gallons of fuel.
Uh-huh.
At $6 a gallon, that is $36,000 in fuel, roughly.
Divide by 2, because
Divided by 2, you
that
share
fuel
it.
cost.
So we were at 85 plus 60 for the plane.
30 each.
You're like 200 grand into this thing.
Not quite,
150 to 2.
Almost.
because I've got my private instrument commercial. I'm saving multi for later on, and
Wow.
again, with the small plane that we bought, we've gotten operational cost down to around like $15 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the hangar fees looking like on that thing?
$275 a month, split
not
between
bad.
$130 each person.
I would have thought a lot more than that.
No,
And what's the insurance on a plane?
$900 a year.
That's not bad at all.
Not either.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
That's really cheap. Okay, and then maintenance is probably
every
a lot.
Every 100 hours, you're looking around $1,200. But again, you split it, but
Every
between 2, it's $600 a person.
Okay, and what now? Wow. Okay, well, it's not bad actually.
Yeah.
The most expensive thing are the fuel and the licenses.
The licenses.
Fuel is a big one. You're fueling up constantly.
Yeah. Wow.
Every day we're fueling up like twice.
So what is your like goal with being a pilot? Like what do you think
So
you're
I wanna get to the airlines. I wanna travel the world. I wanna show my family the world as well.
Have you taken your family anywhere so far?
Honestly, they didn't. No one's have flown with me yet.
Really?
Nobody.
I'll fly with you.
You want to?
Yeah.
why won't they fly with you? Are they nervous a little bit?
They're
kinda?
nervous. They're nervous.
I am not nervous at all. You could take me tomorrow. We'll go.
You know my family. Adi, he goes, yeah, I'll fly with you. Just busy right now, you know how it is. Adil, he was straight up telling me, he was like, once you get to the airlines, I'll fly with you.
He's like, no, right now.
Yeah. He's scared of the small
And
little
your dad and
planes.
mom are like, no.
Dad's scared of heights. My mom, she's like, yeah, I'll fly with you, but she really won't do it.
Oday, you could hit me up tomorrow and be like, hey, Nick, you want to go somewhere?
That would be crazy.
You know what?
No fear at all.
You know, free will's insane with this little plane. I go wherever I want, whenever I want.
I bet, dude. That's probably so cool.
But how do you? All right. So say you want to go fly somewhere. Like how do you know where you're gonna go and where you're landing at? Like how do you calculate?
Communications,
Air traffic
right?
control.
Yeah.
Air traffic control's there. We have GPS as well.
So you could just get in your plane, and just put on.
What's that box called?
That's crazy.
Transponder.
Transponder.
So you just go in there and you're just like, hey, I'm flying here and here. Like
Yeah, back.
I don't understand.
ATC back. Hey, this is November. Whatever. We're at over Medina Airport. Just want some flight following to Detroit. Like, all right, cool. Fly heading 180. That's south. 270.
So do you not even like
Maintain
drive anywhere?
Maintain 4,500. Fly.
You just fly everywhere,
Or-
or do you just like? Let's say you're like, you got to go down south for business or something. You just
Yeah.
fly yourself
Yeah. Why would I drive? Get flight hours while I'm at it.
and to fly. Yeah,
I get my flight
Wow,
hours.
yeah,
at it.
that's
that
huge.
is so.
So do you gotta like wait for a specific time for like the traffic in the air to die, or you can just pretty much be like, hey, I'm leaving right
Wherever I
now
want to go.
and just go?
Is there a radar in the cockpit that allows you to see if other planes are
Yeah.
near?
Yeah.
Any close encounters?
Yeah. Many.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Many. But you gotta stay vigilant.
yeah.
Keep looking outside. Don't always rely on that GPS.
Really?
Dude,
So
that is so cool.
that is super cool.
Hey, if you want somebody to fly with you, man, I promise
you
you,
know, I
I
got
will
you.
go
got you.
wherever.
I got
That
you.
would be so cool.
No, last summer we went up to Detroit, ate some good Middle Eastern food,
Yeah,
and flew
airborne.
right back down.
That is so cool. Imagine, yeah. Hey, you want that place that we haven't had in a while? Oh, man, it's
you know how
always
many times we've done that?
just to go to Detroit for food and back.
Anywhere, not just
to
Detroit.
get hours.
Yeah, we need hours. Let's go fly somewhere. Go try that nice restaurant. We'll fly right back.
And you can fly out the country.
No, I mean technically yes, but it's a lot more.
Oh, Dave, if you need hours, I'm
Paperwork.
being so serious. Let's
Yeah.
go somewhere, bro. I'll pay for the fuel. Swear to God. Swear to God.
According to FAA, we gotta split the fuel costs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, gotta split it.
Okay. Even better.
Wow.
That is so cool. Wow. Now, would you be wary of taking somebody like me with you?
No, not at all.
No.
I've taken friends before, just not family.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
And every person I fly with, I let them fly.
Oh yeah.
I actually let them handle the plane and all that.
You would let me handle the plane? when can we make this happen, dude?
Anytime.
And you're allowed
Well-
to do that?
I'm making sure nothing's, bad's happening.
Facts.
Those of you at home, he doesn't do that.
I don't do that.
He doesn't do that. But I will be going out with him, so got to make that happen. That's so cool. So you spend all this money to become a pilot. You get to live the greatest life. You could fly wherever you want for a special dinner. That's amazing.
Crazy.
If you had to choose any airline,
Delta or United.
would you stay intercontinental or would you do international flights?
It gets tricky. It gets tricky. International's always better. Always better. The bigger the plane you fly, the more money you get paid. And you get way cooler
You
destinations.
get paid like per trip?
per hour.
Per hour.
Wow.
And that rate is determined by where you go and what plane and how many people?
Usually the bigger the plane, the more money you get paid per hour.
Okay.
And is it per hour while you're flying or just per hour while you're at the station?
No, while flying.
Okay.
So if a flight takes 8 hours, I'm getting paid those 8 hours, and that's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Then you
A lot of
stay there.
downtime, you're not getting paid, but you get paid a per diem, but it's not much.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. That is so crazy to me, dude.
So you like flying. How do you feel about like skydiving?
I'll never do it.
Never
I'll
really.
Never ever do
So
it.
you
Really?
fly around, but you wouldn't.
I'll fly, but I will never jump out.
Wow.
What if you have to?
No, I'm going down with the plane. That's something we actually learn in school. Like your engine goes out, you got nothing to do, you go land that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Just try to land it if
Land it in a cornfield, farmer's field, an airport if there's one.
So what are the steps of that? So like your plane's going down, engine fails.
You have your
like-
checklist. Boom. There's like bold items where you should do like in an instant. And then there's the rest of the checklist that you're running through trying to get that engine restarted. And once you get it restarted, don't continue flying, of course.
Right.
Get that,
Land it.
Get that
You'll
thing on
land
the
it.
ground.
What if it doesn't restart? You're free falling.
You're landing that thing.
So is there like certain extra things that you can like
Or you
put
see-
out, like
Or it's like a highway.
parachutes on the plane? Like is there stuff like that
No.
to kind of like slow it down or
On
nothing?
certain planes, there are, but none of the ones I fly now.
Really?
So if that engine goes out, you're looking for like a field to land in, an airport to land in,
It's
a
either
highway,
it's
a street.
land or die.
It's life or death. It's life or death.
Wow.
You gotta land that thing.
Well, I pray that never happens to
I
you.
pray to.
Yeah.
I really.
That'd be crazy, man.
Knock on wood for
Wow.
sure.
That's why we always
Okay.
check on the pre-flight. Make sure everything's
Yeah,
working.
what's a pre-flight checklist like?
Walking around the plane, make sure everything's working how it is. You're checking the oil, make sure it's enough in there. See if there's anything leaking. Really, and the rest is like checking the weather, where you're going. Do they have fuel at that destination? How big is their runway? All that type of stuff.
So with oil changes on a plane, how frequent are you getting them done?
50 hours.
Every 50 hours.
Wow.
And it probably takes a certain type of oil for a plane.
Yeah.
Are you changing the oil yourself?
No.
No?
They're not bad to do. It's like $200-$300 to do for.
Is that something that you'd want to learn how to do though? Maybe possibly.
I've watched a mechanic do an oil change on my plane, and it's
Is it similar to a car oil
complicated.
change?
It's complicated.
Hmm.
There's a lot of safety wiring that gets tightened and unloosed.
Oh.
So you'd rather just pay for something else
Yeah,
to
I
do
don't want to
'cause-
mess with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm the same
If
way.
I was flying a plane, I would not do any maintenance on it myself. My car is different. I'll do my own oil change. That's fine. But on a plane, I don't think I would.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
scary.
think so? I almost think it would be like opposite. Like I'd almost want to do it myself, or at least be there and learn to know that they're not messing it up. Because are you
Yeah,
gonna
I
really
was
trust
there.
everybody?
I was there, but it's complicated.
I believe that. Wow.
Insane. Wow. You want to do halftime?
You'll get these old heads though. Be like, oh, do your own oil change. That's fine. I'm like, nah.
Like no risk.
Cool.
That's really insane, Oday. That's incredible, though. So you spend all this money for nothing, though, because you make a killing.
It's an investment for my
It
future.
is. It's an
Yeah.
investment for your future. And you're going to make great money until you decide to retire from that. But you're not, you have other stuff going.
I do,
You have other stuff you want to do.
of course.
And we're going to get into that after the halftime report. Are you ready for the halftime report?
Hit me.
So for those of you at home, I don't even know why I explain this to the camera anymore.
Yeah, they should.
Explain it to you. Halftime report led by Hadley. 10 questions. 10 questions. It could be completely related or completely unrelated to the topics at hand. You could answer them at any length, and you could either decline and plead the fifth if you choose.
Okay.
And I will sit here and commentate.
All right.
Ready?
All right. Smooth. First one is: would you rather have a private jet or a beachfront property?
Private jet.
Really? I think that's almost like a no-brainer a little bit.
He's a
Too.
pilot. I mean, I would take the beachfront property because I'm not a pilot. I'd like to have a friend with a private jet.
You want to hire me?
And then you can come stay on my beachfront property. That's how you share. Right there. Boom. Cool.
All right. If you had to sell a haunted house, what would your sales pitch be?
Buy this business. In October, it's insane income.
True.
What's one thing you can't do but wish you could instantly master?
Oof. Sales.
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 Really?
You can do a lot with sales.
Everything is sales.
Everything is
Everything is
sales.
sales.
That is crazy.
A lawyer sells freedom. A doctor sells health.
Yeah.
I sell motivational speaking on the Wishful Thinking Podcast.
Here's one I would
Sales takes a lot of mastering, though. I've been
does.
doing sales for almost 10 years now, and it's really an art form. It truly is. I want to give my answer for this. I wish I could dance.
Really?
Yeah. If I could dance, I would dance everywhere
Really?
all the time. I can't dance for anything. Very stiff.
Can't really dance either. Yeah.
Very, very
That
stiff.
would be sweet. I would love to be able to.
What kind of dancing? Like,
I don't know. Just more than just a head bob.
Just anything, right? Head bob,
more,
just
more than just a head bob. Yeah. I would. I
Jeez.
don't know, man. I just think it'd be cool. It sounds. It seems freeing.
yeah.
You know.
Would you rather time travel to the past or fast forward 20 years?
How far in the past are we talking?
You can go wherever you want into the past. So it's
Going
either
in the
go to the
past.
past or go 20 years
Going
into
in
the
the
future.
past.
Where would you go?
Past. But you stay
I
there.
don't know, but sometime in the past where everything was just like relatively cheaper than how it is today. Make my future kids insanely rich. Every property in downtown I'm buying.
Just change everything for the
Change
future.
everything.
That actually would be crazy.
Yeah.
You don't think there would be like a butterfly effect to that or anything? As in like you alter something back then and it changes everything that you have ever thought of.
Maybe we just become so much richer.
Just doesn't even
You
matter.
might become richer, but then something might happen to somebody else, or maybe life as you know it isn't the same. Maybe you're rich, but now we're in like a dystopian slave society, which we kind of already are. But I guess you never know. That's an interesting question. I wouldn't want to go to the future because that would suck. Like, what if you go 20 years in the future, and for some reason, you're not a pilot anymore, and
You're
I'm not
wanted
rich.
by the government or something
you're
like
just a
that.
fugitive,
That would suck.
or
Like me, myself, going in 20 years forward in the future. So like I'm 22, but in 20 years, or am I 42?
yeah.
Which one is it?
You're still your age.
I'm 22 in 20 years.
I think that would suck too. Wow.
It gets deep, right?
I mean, there's so many different parallels to that. That would suck because what if we go 20 years in the future and the Wishful Thinking Podcast is non-existent?
That'd be brutal. Yeah, we can go back and then be the first podcast ever.
Could do that.
That'd be
We
sweet.
could have started the podcast 10 years ago,
Do I have my knowledge I have now going back in the past?
Yes.
I'm going in the past.
and you have your knowledge now for the future.
I'm going in the past.
I feel like that would benefit you the most.
Going to the past. Yeah, going to the past with the current
Because what would the
knowledge.
future benefit? You wouldn't know. You have
And
no
and your
idea.
knowledge will be outdated in the future
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
because maybe you're not even flying planes 20 years from now.
Could
Right.
be all AI doing it.
It could be all AI. It could be not even a combustion engine. You could be using propulsion,
Yeah.
moving the atoms in front of you. Like,
That leads me to the next question I was going to ask. Do you think AI is going to have a factor with flying?
100%.
Have you seen anything like from like your schooling, or did
I
they show you
haven't,
anything
but
like?
But they're starting off with what? The drones. These like unmanned aircraft. It's only gonna get bigger.
military uses yeah. Is there anything now where an AI drone can carry a passenger?
Yeah.
There is.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
They're
insane.
trying to start them out in like the big cities, and like New York and like Chicago, to go for like from the airport to like the main downtown area, where these unmanned drones are basically just transporting them.
Wow. Via air.
Yeah.
Wow. Did not know that.
That's actually crazy. I wouldn't trust that.
I wouldn't trust it just yet.
Even Kent State proposed that to take students from the main campus to the airport through an unmanned drone.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. AI did.
So it will definitely reach the commercial airlines.
Wow.
I think AI won't replace sales. because you know
You need the human interaction.
you need the human interaction.
Because you need the personality and the personal connection with the buyer.
Yeah, and there's always gonna be something to sell.
Yeah, 100% everything.
True.
Brutal.
What's your guilty pleasure song that you blast alone in the car?
Careless Whispers.
That's a banger.
By
I'm not
who?
gonna lie. George
George
Michaels.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't even know that song.
Yeah, you
You
do.
do?
Yes, you do.
What?
Everyone knows that song.
I'm
Oh,
never gonna dance again. That song is a banger. I played that today at work.
wow.
Oh
That
god,
is
that's a banger.
Why that song?
I don't know. I don't know. It's insanely good.
That's a timeless song, dude. That song is good.
Mine changes as times change. Right now I'm on some Morgan Wallen.
Whole album every day.
Yeah.
Shout out Morgan.
Yeah, shout out Morgan Wallen. When we blow up, we're having Morgan on the pod.
We got to.
Next question.
Fire. Pineapple on pizza.
It's insanely good.
I agree.
Really?
I
It's
like
good.
it. It's so good.
It is good.
I don't.
Yeah,
Really?
you
I don't
tried
think
it?
you've had the right
Have you
slice.
tried it? You know where you need to go? This place in Brecksville, east of Chicago Pizza.
Oh yeah.
They have a barbecue chicken pineapple pizza. So good.
Dude,
So good.
that sounds
Well,
incredible.
now I'm on my health kick, so I'm not even eating pizza. So
That'll be like a cheat day.
sounds. I mean, was never a fan though. I could see myself liking it.
It's good. I thought I was not going to like it
I could see myself.
until I
liking
tried it.
Would you survive a zombie apocalypse, you think?
Yeah.
Really?
You could just fly away.
They're not gonna
Just hop in the plane and fly away from all the
especially
zombies.
But you're running out of fuel and oil eventually.
I'll go to an airport that's in the middle of nowhere, fuel up, in the sky
You
again.
just stay in the sky.
Stay in the sky. I'll get my hours that way.
It's funny you said, because like I always told myself, and you could ask my brother, this is something that I actually think and say, and my uncle. I always tell myself, because like I'm in real estate too, so we want to have a house somewhere in the country where it's like isolated from people. I think it's important to have that. I want to have something where I have a barn with like a little Cessna or something sitting in it for when the zombie apocalypse happens. I could just fly us out of there.
Yeah.
And I always tell my brothers and my uncle, and they think I'm an idiot for it. I tell them, like, I don't care what happens. If it's life or die and there's zombies chasing us, if somebody has to fly a plane out of there that is not a pilot, it'll be me.
Really?
I guarantee you I could hop in a plane and figure out how to get it off the ground and get away.
I saw a stat the other day. It was 50% of men think they can land a commercial plane.
Correct.
If the pilot's like, you know.
I'm one of those 50%.
What do you think about that?
Uh,
What's your idea of that statistic? Because I don't think.
I think I can do. I can do it.
Obviously, you can do
This
it.
is interesting.
Do
Yeah.
you think 50% of men can do it?
No.
I think I can.
Do you
I
think
think
Nick
Some
I-
just don't know what to do. You're up in 40,000 feet in the air. How are you gonna get down?
What is your first step to landing a plane, Nick? The pilots are
you have
passed
all
out.
these buttons in front of you.
Well, here's
What
the
are you-
thing.
what are you
Which one
touching
do you
first?
press?
Here's the thing.
How do you talk to air traffic control?
Well, okay, if I'm about to land, fuck air traffic control.
How do you know where to land? You're 40,000 feet in the air.
I'm just gonna find somewhere that looks open.
You're 40,000 feet. You're above the clouds, Nick.
So I need to get down a little bit.
How?
Okay. So we reduce
You
altitude.
lower the nose.
Listen, it's different. Listen, here's what I'll tell
Everybody's
you.
gonna be off their seats.
It's different right now without anything in front of me. I have no clue what the inside of a cockpit looks like.
Okay.
But if we're in 40,000 feet, that means I have a few minutes to kind of figure stuff out. I'm going to play around with the thing, see what this motion does.
Okay.
How can I go lower? How can I go up? How can I turn?
Okay.
Play around with that. I'm going to press this button. If that doesn't do anything, the buttons are like probably a little bit labeled, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so I can read, find this button that says to, the route, the,
Dude, you're toast.
no, I guarantee you,
Yeah, looks about right.
Look at what you're looking at.
I guarantee you, not a question in my mind, I can land a plane. If it's life or death.
Yeah, can you pull up that picture one more time?
If,
Okay, if you had to guess, all right, autopilot's on, but if you want to lower it, like calm down, you have to
you have to push it in.
turn off the autopilot first, because you'll be
Yeah.
fighting autopilot. It'd be
Yeah, you got
impossible.
to turn off autopilot.
Where do you think it would be?
I'm gonna screenshot
Curious.
this so you can put it up on the screen for the video so people can see what we're looking at here.
Well, I can't read any of this stuff.
Just like give me a general area where you think it would
You're
be.
not gonna have time to read. The
I
plane
think
is
autopilot's
going
up here
down.
somewhere.
Let me see.
The plane is going down.
No,
I can't.
not at all.
This
Another
picture.
picture.
This
Scroll.
picture doesn't matter.
The picture doesn't.
This picture means fucking
Picture's
nothing.
going up on the screen regardless.
Picture means nothing. Listen, if you're in a plane, listen, if Oday is not on a plane, if me and you are on a plane with another 100 people, the pilot dies, and there's nobody else that's a pilot
Where's the
on plane,
parachutes? Where are the
you would
parachutes?
want someone like me rather than some random bozo taking the wheel, because the plane has to get landed or we're all dying. You want me in that seat because I am extremely confident that I will get the job.
So if there's another person on the plane who's like, dude, please, like I can land this, you're gonna be like,
I'm
no?
afraid
If he's actually a pilot.
Oh my God, I'm afraid of people like you stopping me from going into the cockpit and landing.
Right, because he's on the plane, you don't know
Only if you're actually a pilot.
But would you believe me? I'm a stranger. I'm like, hey, I'm a pilot. You
Would you
move.
believe him?
I
I'll
would.
go in the back.
I would if you're actually a pilot. But I would
I
ask
wouldn't
for.
believe you. I don't think you look like a pilot. I think if I was on a
You
plane,
definitely don't
and-
look like a
Not
pilot.
white,
that's
you
what
know.
I'm saying. If he,
Not white,
if he was
yeah.
like, if he was like, I'm a pilot, let me get in there, I'd be like, dude, let's weigh our options here and see if there's anybody.
I would ask for some type of like documentation.
Right.
Do you have like a little badge or something, or like a
My
little
license
But
on.
I think you'd
You
be
have your
able,
license?
you'd be able to hop
show me
in
your
there and just
license.
bing, bing, bing,
Boom.
bing.
Then you're a pilot. You're in the cockpit.
Do you carry your license with you everywhere?
Who are you to ask me that? You know what I'm
The
saying?
man who knows that I can land this plane. Who are you? You're just some bystander on a plane, unless you actually have a.
That's what I
pilot's
think of you, though.
license.
I think you're just a bystander who thinks they can save the day.
I know I can save the day. I don't think. I know that if you put me in a situation where it's life or death with a plane, I am landing.
We'll ask the viewers if they think Nick can land a plane.
I don't know why that's such an insane concept. Like
It's a
like
plane.
all the buttons are labeled.
You're talking to a pilot who's telling you you're not going to land that plane.
All the buttons are labeled. Are they not?
Okay,
Are the buttons labeled?
not to the understanding of the general public though.
But I can make inferences.
Kind of.
The only thing I really need to know is my landing gear.
Okay.
I need to know how to shut off autopilot. Is the autopilot button labeled autopilot?
AP.
Okay, that's easy. Is there a landing gear button that's labeled?
No, there's like a landing gear. You just kind of pull it down.
Is it labeled landing gear?
Yeah, and it looks like a wheel.
Okay,
this?
so right there I'm good.
How about you ask him what's the first thing you do if a plane's going down and you're the person on there? So then you do have a
Turn
little
off
bit
the
of-
autopilot.
Turn off?
Well, no.
Whoa.
No. That's not the first thing you do.
My goodness.
No. You have to talk to air traffic control. Be like, hey, I'm a bystander who
That
doesn't know what they're doing.
They could also walk you through it.
So
too.
what? All right. So how would he get? How does he get a hold of him? You walk up there. You see him.
ATC, I don't know who I'm talking to. Pilots just went down.
You just
I'm a
put the headphones
passenger. What do I do?
You just put the headphones on.
Yeah.
Really? It's
There's a
automatically
button on
connected?
the yoke.
Wouldn't the transponder kind of realize that you're in turmoil and
Well-
report it back to ATC?
Well, transponders tells ATC like their altitude, their speed, and their heading.
Gotcha.
That's about it.
Now, would a stewardess even let you in there? Probably not, right?
Oof, that's a good point.
Like,
I mean,
like
both
what if they're
If
stopping
there's
you?
somebody
like,
like me,
"Sir,
like, listen, miss, do you
if
want to
both-
die?
I mean, if both pilots are out, you're gonna.
would you
so
go
you're
to
gonna have
jail?
You're
if
gonna
you
have
went
to get in there. No, you're gonna have to.
I'd be like, listen,
someone has
miss,
to
do
get
you
in
want to die? Do you want all these people to die? They're all crying, scared. I can land the plane. Let me in.
there. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but I didn't know this before I stepped into the aviation world. 2 pilots up front, right? Let's say one has to use a bathroom. One pilot is not allowed to be by himself up there. A flight attendant steward has to come up and sit in that pilot who was using the restroom in his seat.
Why?
Really?
A pilot's never allowed to be by himself up there, ever.
Is that like just checks and balances, or
Safety, just for safety, just in case.
will that stewardess ever grab the wheel or do anything, or is she just sitting there just for his own
just
safety?
sitting there, make sure that
Make sure
other
he's
pilot
alive,
doesn't do anything.
good. Makes sense.
Or tries to do a suicide.
So nobody can ever fly by themselves? Are you saying?
And the airlines, no.
But
No, yeah, I've gone solo so many times. Now I can, but like in the airlines, no.
in airlines, not at all.
All right, so you put on the headset, you get a hold of ATC, Mayday, Mayday, plane going down, don't know where I'm at, check my transponder, I have no clue where I'm at, what I'm doing. Get me to the direction. Okay, sir, you're at 40,000 altitude. We need you at like 10,000. What you're going to do is turn the autopilot off, sir. It's already done. I know what I'm doing here. AP off. Okay, now, we gotta get the rotors the right distance. If you look to your left, there's a button here. Got it. Clicked. Rotors are in good shape. All right. Your autopilot, your altitude is dropping. We need you at like 10,000. Then you got to get to like, 2, 3, whatever. Pull out your landing gear. Land. You want a person like me in an emergency situation like that.
Not bad.
You sound confident.
Sweet.
Not bad.
It sounds confident
Yeah.
in the moments, but with the plane crashing, people are flying in the air, puking into bags, all the bags drop. from
All the
thing.
girls crying, babies
It's gonna be a
crying.
huge difference, and you're gonna be sweating.
The pilot said not bad.
Not bad at all, actually.
You want to pull out your landing gear like within like 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet.
Fair.
Bingo. All right. What's the next question? I think put me in a plane, dude.
Now what? Last rapid fire question.
Is that the last one? I don't even know what number we're
one more. I got one more. It was, if you opened a new business tomorrow based on your biggest hobby, what would it be called?
The name of it.
Yeah.
Well, what is your biggest hobby?
Hobby. I have a lot of hobbies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Biggest hobby you want to start a business tomorrow. What's it called?
It's a tough question.
Do you have any business idea names at all?
At the current moment?
Yeah.
I have Gold Coast Investments. But that's just for like an LLC for the real estate. Plead the fifth. I don't know. I really don't know.
Fine.
Nice.
All right. Trip into the next half of this podcast, huh?
It's been great so far. I'm really enjoying this. So we talked in extreme detail about pilots. We could leave that in the rear view. Let's move into real estate a little bit.
Let's do it.
So you're 22.
I'm 22.
How'd you get into real estate already?
Well,
Why did you choose real estate?
I love real estate. Ever since I was a kid, I loved real estate. Like even before we moved to Sagamore Hills, I enjoyed going to different houses, doing like these tours of different houses. I love that. Just everything about real estate, even the business aspect of things. It's cool as hell.
Okay.
Let's see, how did I start? This was back in late 2022. Yeah, late 2022. Family had a condo in the Winton. And we had it was a 1-bed, 1-bath, pretty small. They had it rented out. And I asked my dad, I was like, what are your plans here with this condo here? It's being rented out. It's paid off. Got it for foreclosure a while ago. Thing is, just not making that much money out of it. It's a 1-bed, 1-bath, very small, 700 square feet. With the HOA fee that you're paying, you're not really making much.
Yeah. That's in the Lakewood Towers or something, right?
Yeah, the Winton.
Oh, yeah.
And what came next was my dad saying, "Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. You do whatever you want with it. Just do whatever you want."
So what'd you do with it?
Sold it.
You sold it
Sold it.
for a profit.
Yeah. Doubled it actually.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
So I remember when you were going through that,
Yeah.
you know, I was already in real estate. You were
Yeah.
asking me, like,
Yep.
what should we do, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. Sold it for a profit. Nice.
Yep.
Doubled it. Nice.
you know Jason? You remember Jason,
Jason who?
the realtor,
Yeah.
British guy?
Yeah.
Still with him.
I still use, I still talk to Tom all the time.
Yeah.
He helped us get our second house.
Good.
Nice. I like Tom because he's flexible and he understands
Yeah.
situations.
He does.
Versus if you go to a regular, some Joe Schmo
Banker,
mortgage
yeah.
officer, it's going to be very by the book.
Yeah.
Not that I'm doing anything illegal. It's just, you need somebody who's flexible.
100%. Tom is a great guy.
Tom is good.
But got this triplex, and
So
Lakewood.
you use your down payment
Yep.
with the money from.
With the profit,
Yep.
Okay.
All of it. Just dumped
money
it all.
flow.
Dumped it
Gotta
all.
have it.
Got this triplex.
Because did you have an account that advised you to do that?
No.
Because in real estate, you don't have to pay taxes on capital gains if
Yeah,
you
3
reinvest
months.
it within 6 months.
6 months.
1031 exchange.
Yeah.
That's why you dumped it all. No worries.
Yeah. Just dumped it all.
Same thing with me.
Yep. So I got this triplex in Lakewood. Honestly, love that house. The location of it. You remember the location of it?
Yeah.
Right next to downtown
Cook Avenue.
Lakewood. Right next to Lakewood Park.
Yep.
Beautiful
It was
location.
a great location in between Clifton and Detroit
Yep.
on Cook.
Yep.
I remember.
It's insane. Even the house itself, triplex, each unit renovated.
Making good money, renovated a nice
You-
house.
Yep.
Yep.
Until March of this year. Yeah, March. Got a letter in the mail. Property tax increased on me
Yeah.
by $900.
Yeah.
So okay.
It's not that serious though. Is that you're selling it for $900?
Oh, here's the thought process.
Okay.
There goes a lot of like that profit I was making from that house.
$900 a month or
Mhm.
$900 a year?
No, a month.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mine didn't increase like that. Brutal.
Yeah.
And why does that happen? Like, why do they do that?
They do that to every house.
Yeah,
in
they get
town.
reevaluated.
Everything gets
after-
reevaluated,
yeah.
and everybody's taxes.
And they're
go
just
up.
like, oh, the value of this area and property like is like gonna
And
go up. So
they
we're
go
gonna,
based off like the purchase price of the home as well.
really.
So,
Yep, everybody's goes up. Mine fortunately
That's
did not go up by
crazy.
that much. 900 a month, that eats all your profit.
Everything.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
thought
you meant like 900 a year. I'm like, okay,
no, that's what.
less than $100.
Yeah, $80 a month.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Okay.
So we sat down. Granted, I'm still making a little bit of profit on this house, but not much. Then you get into, okay, I could keep this house, make this a little bit of profit, whatever, but I'm keeping it for what's the name of it? The appreciation this house is going to get over the years. Because it's a liquid home in a good location. We all know these houses are going to go up to $1 million one day. So I could keep it for that purpose. Or I could sell it. It's pending right now. It's about to close here in a couple of weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
All it took was 1 weekend of an open house. Shout out Jason. So I took that profit I made plus the equity I had in it plus the money I made through the rent, and I'm dumping it all into something else. What exactly, I'm not sure, but I do have an idea of what I'm looking for. Something more than 3 units.
More units.
More units.
Yes,
Something
that's-
bigger, more
That's
units.
the way you go. That's what I realized after buying my duplex is the more units on the single parcel that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
Even if you do like 4, 6 units, 8
Mhm.
units.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
So that was technically your second property
I guess.
in a way,
Yeah.
basically. And do you have anything else for the moment, or is that was just
That's
what you're rocking with right now?
That's it.
And you want to, once you get the money off of that, you want to go and just do one with more units, or would you be
Yeah.
open into getting multiple different properties for lower and flipping them?
For
I mean,
now,
that's an
one
option
big
too,
one.
right?
For now, one big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what do you do about like renovations and all that? Do you kind of like do stuff yourself, or
I
do you
everything
hire
my own. by
everything on
myself,
your
yeah.
own?
Except
so are you pretty handy, would you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Drywall, flooring,
Mhm.
like you can kind of handle all that, painting.
Being a landlord, you have to be.
100%.
right?
I preach that all the time.
You have to. You
you're
have to.
Outsource everything, you're not gonna
no
make
money.
any
I feel
money.
like that's the best way to do it.
That's how I learned everything. Is because
Yeah.
I had to figure it out myself. Like
Exactly.
the sink is leaking. Am I going to pay $500 for a plumber? Or am I going to figure out these sink
Yeah.
plumbing pieces? and do
Exactly.
it?
Exactly.
Paint, drywall, whatever. You just got to do it. I'm the same way.
YouTube's insane.
YouTube University, dude.
A lot of people are just lazy nowadays.
That's why I think I could land a plane.
So you're 40,000 feet in the air. You're gonna search it up on YouTube.
we're not even.
No, I'm
we're
just
not
gonna
even
quit.
going back to that. Jeez, dude thinks he can land a plane.
So something more. Do you have your eyes on anything? Have you done any searching at all?
I have. Things are expensive right now.
I know.
Things are
The
expensive.
market's crazy.
How many units are you thinking?
Minimum 4.
Minimum 4.
Minimum.
The insurance is different after 4.
Yeah. Comes a investment.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Um,
Family.
Now, would you build an additional room if it came to that? Like, say if you got like a try again, but there was like an extra space that you could
Like an attic, I
Yeah,
could
right.
convert
That you
to a
could
unit.
transition. Would you want to do that, or be open to do that
Like turning like an attic to
to an extra
another
room?
unit.
Yep.
I would.
kind of like how my house is.
Yeah, I would.
Takes a lot of cash to do that. That's why I haven't done it to mine yet.
It does.
Because my duplex is side by side, but there's an entire attic.
Which would be a huge attic.
It's huge. I mean, it's at some point the ceilings are like 12, 15 feet tall. Like I could put a whole nother unit with a loft in there, probably like a 2-bedroom in there.
Yeah.
It's just
Which
so
in-
much
in
cash.
Lakewood, get like 1,400 out.
That place would be a
I was
cash
out of
cow
it.
then, yeah.
Exactly.
But
So if somebody's watching and they want to get into like real estate and they want to purchase their first property, what would they do to go into that?
Hands down, you get a duplex, you
house hack it.
get your FHA loan, put 3.5% down,
Yep.
live in one side,
Yep.
rent the other side.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Because so let's talk about percent down.
Mm-hmm.
To live in it, to get the cheapest percent down you're going to get is an FHA.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a first-time home buyers association loan, which means you're a first-time home buyer. You have to live in it by the rules. You have to be, owner occupied in order to qualify for that FHA 3.5% down. So that's the house hacking thing people talk about. They FHA, live in one side, rent the other side out. Back in the day, you could have that other side pay for the whole mortgage. Now it's very hard.
It's hard, but think about it. Let's say you're from like your duplex, for example. You can get that thing for $1,500, right? It's a big dupe side, right?
I get 2 on each side, close to 2.
Oh, okay. Call it 2.
It's
right?
it's 3 bedrooms, 1,600 square foot. It's like a house.
That's dang near a house, yeah.
Yeah.
So call it 2,000. Okay, but let's say your mortgage. Give me a number for a mortgage payment. 3,000. So now you're only paying $1,000 off a $500,000 home. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane, and you're building equity.
And then I'm in a 3 bedroom, so I get a roommate or 2, and now that 1,000 is split into 3 or 2. At the time, I had a roommate, we split into 2. So that's the way you do it. Or if you have a lot of, I know somebody who bought a duplex, was making more than half on one side, rented their side out to. He lived on the couch and then rented all 3 rooms out, and he got paid to live there.
Yeah,
that's what people do.
Yeah.
That's a house hack.
It literally is.
Because you're getting paid to own a house. And then after a year, right? After a year, you're technically eligible to refinance that home.
Mm-hmm.
You can refinance it out of an FHA into a conventional loan. And then you can go buy another one FHA.
Yeah, 3.5% down.
Yep, another 3.5% down. And that's the house hack.
And when
live in it for a year, go to the next one, refinance. Live in it for a year, go to the next one, refinance.
But you need a certain amount of credit in order to get that.
580 is the minimum for an FHA loan.
580, you get the FHA loan.
You need cash.
And you need cash?
Yeah, you need 3.5% down of whatever that thing costs plus closing costs. But there's other things you could do to mitigate closing costs. Yeah. There's a lot we could probably get into. You could always ask the seller to give seller concessions.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm buying this house from you. There's a lot of repairs that need to be done. Give me $5,000 off the closing costs. Yeah. They'll do it because they want their money. Give me $5,000 off the closing costs. So now you don't have to pay as much closing costs. Up front, you got to pay for insurance. That goes into your closing costs. You can put it all on a credit card. I've done that to save money, cash up front, put the whole insurance on a credit card. I've done that. That saves you like 2 G's, like down. There's so much stuff you can do.
Everybody listening, I hope you're writing this down. It's a free game right here.
Yeah. It's a free game.
Literally, negotiating on a house never ends until they sign.
Yep.
It never ends.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can negotiate your way. There's so many things you can do. And then you could okay, now it's got to get appraised. Oh, it appraised for less than we agreed on. Well, I'm not going to give you more than what it's worth. Mm-hmm. So now we got to drop. But I still want my concessions. Okay, boom, boom, boom. The house that we live in now, it was a $200,000 home. We paid $7,000 out the door. My brother and I split. So $3,500 a person to buy a house. That's closing costs and down payment.
So do you need a real estate license to sell a house?
No.
There's seller by owner.
Yeah, for sale by owner. Yeah, there's for sale by owner.
By owner, and then
that's what
renting. So you don't have a real estate license?
No, I sold my first house by owner.
So somebody can just do all that, and they don't even have to get the license at all. So what does the license part of it have to do with anything?
It allows you to put it on the broker's market to advertise it to. Well, I think it's a scam too.
Yeah, every day. These days, everything's on Zillow and.
Yeah, I think it's a scam.
So you would say to somebody who's going to school for a real estate license that they don't have to do that.
I think they're going to become obsolete after a while because now they're trying to change the commission structures and stuff. Yeah. I had a house in Garfield that we sold almost 3 times the value. I sold it by myself, no agent, with Zillow and a YouTube video in not even 72 hours for sale by owner.
Really? So there's really nothing that you benefit from having a real estate license? Is that I don't know.
Having an agent is going to do all the marketing for you. They're going to have access to
a lot of the paperwork.
They're going to handle a lot of the paperwork.
Yeah.
The paperwork's a big thing. Paperwork, they're going to have access to databases and markets. They're going to have their own book of clients and investors that they could reach out to. They're going to have that professional MLS, but it doesn't matter.
So it's just a piece of paper and you get a few extra little things, but realistically, you could just.
And then you pay them 4, 5, 6, 7% of the sale of the home.
Wow.
Which, when you're talking $500,000, 4%, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money. 4% of $100,000 is $4,000 times 4. That's 16 grand right there.
Yeah.
Just going to this guy for listing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all new to me. I don't know.
It's crazy.
asking.
It really is crazy. Like,
It's interesting.
that's why, but it is hard to sell a home. It's funny. Like, I was 21 when I sold that house, and the video is still on YouTube. You can search the address on YouTube, 4618 East 88th Street, Garfield, Ohio. Jamie, pull it up. You could search the address on YouTube, and I literally started outside with my phone. I'm like, hey guys, 4618 East 88th Street, Garfield Heights, Ohio, for sale by owner. Here's the outside, beautiful lush lawn. Everything looks great. Brand new concrete driveway. Walk right in. You got hardwood floors. You got a big spacious living room, multiple windows. Come around here. You got a finished kitchen. Come around here. You got this, that, the third. I walked around the whole thing. I made a video of this place, talked about it all. Put it on the Zillow link, listed it myself on Zillow. Put that link in there. The ChatGPT wasn't around, so I created my own. Description. This amazing house. Blah blah blah.
When
could have just used ChatGPT now.
when I post the rental properties up on Zillow, I use ChatGPT.
It's so easy.
ChatGPT is
Why not?
employee of the month.
It's goated. But yeah, I sold a house with a YouTube video.
That's insane.
I'll show you. It's still up too.
That's insane.
It's pretty sweet.
But you don't need that. So, real estate's great. I hope you're able to sell it. You can make profit off it. I hope.
I did. Yeah.
That's good.
I did.
That's good.
I was not gonna sell it for a loss.
Yeah, you
I
can't
was
sell
just
for a
held on.
loss.
I was just held on to
You
it.
have to.
Yeah,
You have
that
to.
makes sense.
I'm trying to get rid of mine, Loki.
The Lakewood one.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I want more.
Yeah.
I want more units.
There's a lot of equity in it to where it could be dumped into something bigger, and that's what I've noticed throughout this whole process.
Yeah, and I have equity. My problem is I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I don't have it listed anywhere.
Are you just going word to mouth right now?
I was going word of mouth. I have a few investors.
Yeah.
I had somebody come to look at it, but in order to actually sell it, I would need to put it on.
Yeah.
I think because you listed yours with an agent.
Yeah, I did.
Would you say you're not pressed about getting rid of it, but if the price was right and somebody came to you
Exactly.
with that, you'd be like, okay,
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not.
You wouldn't mind giving it up, but you're like, I'm not pressed about.
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I mean, I love that house. It's a beautiful house.
It is.
It's making great. It's not making great money. It's making good money. It's essentially paying for itself plus a little bit more, paying for all the repairs.
Right.
I'm not gonna be rich off of that until one day when it pays itself off. But I wouldn't take a loss on it. But if the right price came that I could make some money off it, yeah, 100% I'd get rid of it. Just like he's doing, to buy something with more units that's gonna be more profitable.
Just to keep that money river flowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because I was young at the time, 21. I didn't really know. Had I have known what I know now, I would have put that money on a triplex or a quad or something more. I knew I had to get a multifamily or something, and I fell in love with the place. And I didn't get it because of the numbers. I got it because I loved the place.
My aunt lives on the same street.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
told me. Yeah, very end. Yeah.
Yeah, very end.
Yeah. So, I mean, real estate's a hell of a game, though. It's not going anywhere, though. So those of you at home, if you want to get into real estate, get into it while you can, because it's not going to go anywhere. And soon you're going to have people like me and Oday taking everything. So get into it while you can.
That's one thing. It's never going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Ever.
People always going to need a place to live.
Exactly.
And in fact, they're going to keep building and building and building. You brought up interesting points before about Airbnb,
Yeah.
things of that nature, short-term rental,
Yeah.
flips. I think the easiest way for me is to get into the flip game, because you could buy something cheap, really cheap, maybe go in with a few guys,
Mm-hmm.
do the work yourselves, and sell it. What's your next move in real estate besides this
Yeah.
thing you're looking to buy?
After whatever the next thing I buy is, after that, honestly, depends. Maybe I take a unit out of this next thing I buy and just keep it for short-term rentals,
Just
or
test it
depending
out.
on the area, keep it for Airbnb. Whatever the case may be, I have options. I have a lot of options.
You should Berea and stuff's about to be popping
I
with
know.
the Browns.
Brown Stadium.
If that actually comes to fruition, we're talking 5 to 10 years from now.
Mm.
But maybe not that long, but a decent amount of time. There could be a huge market for Airbnbs,
I know.
because then they'll put a dome on it. We could have Super
Oh,
Bowls,
yeah.
big concerts,
Stadiums. Yeah.
That
So
place
yeah,
it's going to be a
concerts.
gold mine.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for like both of you guys, honestly, with the real estate and anything. Would you guys be open to like maybe like purchasing like a food chain place or a restaurant or even like anything other than just a regular house,
I'm trying to go into
barbershop,
business with this
whatever.
guy, dude. I've been trying to get into business with the Salti family for a long time, and we were very close to
Yeah.
multiple times to doing
we were.
something. But I think something will come in the
Definitely.
future. I trust these guys, and they're smart and they're business heavy. I still have a LLC with your brothers
Yeah.
and
yeah.
A Investments. I do. So would you do anything other than real estate?
I was also looking into forgot the name of it, like multi-use, multi-purpose buildings where there's like
use.
storefronts, yeah, mixed use. Storefronts on the bottom, apartments up top.
Yeah,
They're expensive though.
they are.
They're expensive, but storefronts pay a lot.
They are. Yeah.
So how would that work? Would you own the storefront, or would somebody else own that and you would make revenue off of it?
I would own it. They would just
They
lease
rent
it out
from
from me.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
you-
rent it out.
Oh, really?
You own the whole thing and they lease it out from you.
Mm.
We talked about this before. I would love to get into like more passive things like a laundromat.
Yeah.
People are always going to need to
100%.
wash their clothes. And
I've even looked into that. It's just that I can't.
it's cash heavy in the beginning.
Not just that. Let's say you have two options: buying one that's already set,
Yeah.
or leasing a place out, or buying a place out and
And building
creating
it
one.
out.
They're both buying one that's set is expensive as hell. Very, very expensive because everyone knows it's super passive and they make great money.
Yep.
You want to set one up, it's very scary because you don't know if that location is going to do well. A
You got to be in
laundromat,
a renter heavy city like Lakewood
but there's already laundromats on every street and every
for
block.
a reason, though.
I
That's
know.
why you got to buy one of theirs
No one's gonna.
But
ever
they're not
sell
gonna
it.
give 'em
No one's
up.
gonna- Exactly. No one's gonna ever sell it.
because the owner is doing nothing and collecting $20,000 a month.
I know.
Probably.
I know.
Yeah. But that's something I would love to get into. It's almost like you'd have to like meet somebody who's like, oh yeah, like we're good friends. I've known you for a long time. I'm trying to get rid of this business.
Yeah.
Take it over.
They'll never put it on the market though.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. I mean, but I would love to get into something passive like that.
What about like a mosque? What about that? Would
Like a
you guys-
mosque.
Yeah, mosque.
That's what do you answer
They're
that?
not really profitable.
Yeah, they're like nonprofits, so
Yeah.
to say.
Straight nonprofits.
Um,
Every money that they bring in, like do like donations and all
But
that.
you guys are Muslim, so like, is if you had the money and you guys were set, is that anything that you would?
I donate money to help build one.
Yeah.
I know my dad's done that many
Oh, yeah?
times. Yeah.
I've
He just donates
I've
money.
put in sweat equity in mosques. I've
Yeah.
helped paint and build mosques.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would own one. I
Neither
would,
would I.
like you said, I would donate to help or put the sweat equity in. I would never want to own one myself. I don't think that's.
It's not meant to make money, and I feel like that kind of gets like,
I feel like that's like crossover gray area.
yeah.
It's not meant to make money. Also, it's not simple. It's keeping up with events that are constantly going on in
Yeah.
there. I just personally don't have the time to dedicate my kind of like my life to it.
Yeah. I wouldn't do a mosque. I would I would donate or help to build it, but I wouldn't. But that's not to say I wouldn't be philanthropic, right? I would. I've expressed this and said this on the podcast before. I'm going to have my own foundation called Suit and Boots, where we sponsor young men, particularly fatherless men, who, if you're going to go into blue collar trade, we're going to buy you a suit and everything you need to get you going in that. Maybe even put you onto a job. If you're going to go into the white collar world, we're going to get you a suit, put your resume together, help you get out there, get a job, connections, whatever. But then that's just the name. Obviously, spin off from that is like, okay, how can we help the mother out? How can we help the family out? Food, resources, support. Maybe that the son is prideful and he doesn't want that, because a lot of young men who don't have fathers are prideful. They're like, I don't need him. I can figure it out.
Yeah, I've done it
You know?
myself. I don't need anybody
Yeah,
else.
same here. I don't
It's
need
like-
this
so
guy.
it's like you're not nudging them. You're just handing them the opportunities to do it yourself.
Well, that and in that case scenario where the kid's like, I don't need it, I can do it myself. That's when we help the mother, right? Because the mother is not going to be prideful in that regard.
Right.
Hey, mom, here's the money to get him school supplies, a haircut, or a suit. You just claim it as your own.
I feel like you should. I feel like if that's the case, then you should reach out to the mothers to begin with, so the kids don't even know, and then it would be just the mom coming like, "Here, I got you this suit. I know you wanted to do this, this, and that," and then they wouldn't even really know. You know what I mean? It'd be
Yeah.
more based around single mothers then
Right.
at that
Plus
point,
you,
which would be pretty sweet.
You have like the hookup on suits.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. What's the game?
Dude, this is some serious game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if the world is ready for this game. All right. I guess we'll tell the world.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, or the listeners, if they're lucky enough to be listening, then they deserve to know.
If you're lucky enough to hear the most influential game on this podcast so far, here it is. Joseph A. Banks and Men's Warehouse are part of the same conglomerate company. They're all over the U.S. They're all over Cleveland. There's one in Lyndhurst, Joseph A. Banks in Lyndhurst and Crocker Park. There's Men's Warehouses, North Olmsted, everywhere. Fairlawn, they're everywhere. Either or, it doesn't matter. I prefer the Banks because they're more my style. Men's Warehouse is more for that like laid back suit wearer, where Joseph A is more like you feel like you're walking into an English tailor when you walk into Joseph A.
Sophisticated.
Men's Warehouse, you feel like you're walking into a Kohl's.
Okay.
So either way, decent stuff though, same stuff. They always have a clearance rack, always, and it rotates, and it's just the stuff from the prior season that didn't sell.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's odd sizes. So big guys, if you're huge and you wear like a size 60 suit, you can go to the Banks and get a $2 suit jacket. Wow. Swear to God. My uncle's a big guy. He wears like a whatever. I've gotten him like 6 or 7 suit jackets for like $2 a piece. Dress pants, $1 a piece.
How much should I get my
Shirts,
full
$1 a
suit
piece.
for? Like my full suit.
You got a full seat. It was like $29, something like that.
Full, like jacket, shirt, pants, belt, shoes.
Yeah. There's
Nice,
always
too.
stuff on sale and it rotates. So what I do is I go there like once a month.
See what they got.
Just browse, get a few
piece
pieces. You got to piece them. I have probably
Sweet, honestly.
20 different jackets. I have probably 30 different pants. And then I only wear white shirts. So you just throw them all together with the white shirt. And I probably got over 300 combinations that I could probably make.
Yeah.
And I've spent less than $1,000 on everything. So that's a hookup.
That's fair.
You know, you can get a suit for $29.99 for a jacket.
And they tailor there too, don't they?
They do tailor. Yeah.
Oh, that's clutch too. So yeah,
It's not that much. I've got a suit tailored. It was like $60. The tailor cost more than the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $70.
How a
Which is
suit
worth
fits
it. That's,
is
yeah,
everything.
it's huge. That's the main
Everything.
thing. I need to get my suit tailored bad.
And I would rather the suit be too tight than too loose.
100%.
If it's too tight, you can pop a button. You'll be fine. If it's too loose, you look like you're walking
You
around
just-
in the tent.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah. So we talked about pilot, real estate. If you don't mind, if you have some time, I'd like to also get into like that Arab culture. We talked about it briefly, but I think it's important for people to truly understand that it doesn't have to just be Arabs that do this, and why it's good to have that culture and stuff like that. Because my brother and I live together. We've banded together. Me, my brother, and my uncle all live together. We kind of banded together, and we're like, okay, if we're all gonna go through life, let's go through it together.
100%.
So I guess just walk us through what that looks like from coming from you guys, an Arab family, but also like why would you encourage it to other people?
It's like that saying, like 10 hands is better than 2.
Yeah.
It's more hands in the pot. That's all it is. Everyone's working together, not separate.
Pull your money together.
That's all it is.
Why do you think that they like push us away? Because that's how it is like low-key everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Non-Western countries.
yeah.
Like even like, you know, Mexican
Your
Latin
brother's from
countries.
Algeria.
Yeah.
He's North African. I'm Middle Eastern. We're identical.
Yeah.
Literally identical. His culture and my culture are the exact same.
Mm-hmm. Even Latin countries do that.
Yeah. Eastern European.
Yep.
Even Asian countries.
Asian countries. Yeah. So why do you think it's Western cultures that do that? Kind of force us separate. You think it's a profit thing?
Could be. Propaganda.
I think it's money based.
Yeah.
Because now you have multiple mortgages, multiple cars, you know, multiple sets of bills,
Multiple people paying taxes.
multiple taxes. Oh my God.
That's probably the biggest one, honestly.
They love taxing the single young people.
Yeah.
And you get taxed multiple times over on the same dollar.
It's insane.
You get taxed when you earn it. You get taxed when you spend it. You get taxed when you give it.
Yeah.
You get taxed every way possible. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
It's horrible.
Man.
And in the Arabic culture, there's a sense of giving back as well. You know? Like my parents raised me to who I am today. It's my job to pay it back, and that's it. there's no such thing as, hey, you're going to go to this nursing home when you turn like 65, 70,
Right.
75.
Right.
There's no such thing as that.
They'll live with you guys.
100%.
Yeah.
Or I'll buy them a house. Whatever the case may be. Give them a maid too. Make sure they're taken care of. Our nursing home is not being taken care of.
That's beautiful, dude. Like your parents did a very good job raising you.
100%.
They did.
Awesome.
His parents are phenomenal people.
I can
His whole
tell.
family. Imagine his brothers too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not comparing anybody, but they're all great.
Right.
Like we all have that same mindset.
Yeah.
That was 3 of us. And we have Lil
And
Mo.
Mo's coming on the
Yeah,
way.
Mo, he's 12 years old. He's coming up. He'll be the same thing.
Does he know what he wants to be?
Pilot.
2 pilots, 2 doctors.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, imagine that family just juice, dude.
It's insane.
Yeah, no, that's how it is,
It's
though.
amazing, though.
It's amazing.
That's sweet, dude.
I
really
respect you guys. This has been a hell of a conversation. There is one thing we got to get to before we conclude it.
Let's do it.
The book.
Oh yeah.
Open her up.
I feel like we could go for hours, dude.
We could.
But
It was cool.
Good.
I mean, we have gone for hours.
How long has it been?
It's been an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
That flew by.
So I'll be honest with you. We could go for hours. We have gone for hours.
100%.
We went play pool for 2-3 hours, talk about
And you've
everything.
been to my house sitting
Yeah.
outside till like 1 a.m.
Yes. Yes. But for a podcast, I try to keep it an hour and a half and below.
You got it.
It's just,
The attention span of
we've done
kids
2-3
nowadays,
hours with people and we can go that length, no issues, but nobody's
Yeah.
there
listen
for
to
3
that
hours.
long.
Unless you're Joe Rogan, but we're not Joe Rogan yet. So
man. Not yet.
we keep it at 1:30.
We'll be better than Joe Rogan, huh?
We will.
Wishful thinking.
Can't wait to have Joe Rogan on here. That's no diss to Joe Rogan. He does great
No,
stuff.
no, yeah. I would go
Um,
on his podcast all day.
Life's Complete Little Instruction Book. Random book I got from Staples. 1,560 line items are in here. I memorized that for you.
Thank you.
1,560. I want you to give me a number between 1 and 1,560.
It was 77.
77. Scroll to it. Read it. And we'll talk about it. Not page 77, line 77. You're starting to look like Ali, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
We get that we're twins a lot.
Yeah, you're starting to look just like him.
Slow dance.
What do you take from it?
What do you take from that?
From slow dancing.
Is that big in the Arab culture?
No. Not at all, actually.
Hmm.
But it's like take a step back. Take a step back. Realize what you've done, you know?
Okay. So looking at it from a non-dance perspective at all.
Yeah, no. Nothing to do with dancing.
That's kind of what I viewed it as
Wow.
too. Is like slow down,
So, yeah.
slow down, like for real, slow dance.
Slow down.
Take time to enjoy the
Wow.
moment.
Even though it's hard for me to agree with that.
You're always go, go, go.
I'm 22 years old. Why slow down?
Yeah.
Maybe not slow down in that aspect, but maybe take a moment sometimes to look around you
Yeah. Yeah.
and appreciate
with
what
that.
you have
Like
around
Ferris
you. and
Bueller
just-
said. What did he say? He goes,
Yeah.
"Life move fast. If you don't stop every once in a while to look around, you'll miss it."
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller.
So don't slow down in the meaning of like slow down on your endeavors and your grinding, but
You know,
like
that's a very interesting perspective because I don't take it like that. I just take it as slow dancing, how it says.
Mm.
And
that's why we do this though, to get the different
yeah,
perspectives.
I do
on
like
it,
that. I
and-
take it as slow dancing as it is because, I think slow dancing is nice.
And you just want to dance. You
Yeah.
just want to be a
It's
lovely
the only dance that I can do.
You can do the Cupid Shuffle.
I can do the Cupid Shuffle really well, but that's
Yeah.
because I'm a DJ. I have to. All right.
Well, if we're going to go based off what you said, take a step back and just look around, see what I've done. I think I deserve a vacation, right?
I think so. Where are we
Oh,
going?
yeah.
Mama, if you're watching this, let me go to Miami.
Well, you could just
a
fly
week.
yourself there.
I could, but that's a long time. It's a long time.
Long flight, you mean? Or
Yeah, like 15-ish.
Really?
No, 10, 11 hours.
So let me ask you this. If you to go to Miami,
Uh-huh.
you have a smaller plane. You got to stop and refuel along the way?
Yes, many times.
Oh, many times.
Many times. So it's about a 10-hour flight. So every 2 hours-ish, we're stopping and refueling.
Because a commercial plane will get there in 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to refuel.
100%.
So,
And they're going way faster. I'm going 100 miles an hour in the air.
oh,
Really?
They're going 500 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would still be cool, though. 15 hours stopping,
We're
Kentucky.
We're stopping in Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia,
That'd be
Northern
sick.
Florida.
Little pit stops, little grab a burger or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
No, that would be
Think about it.
cool.
We leave here at 6 a.m. We'll be there with all the fuel stops 9 p.m.
I'll go with you to Miami.
It's a trip.
That would be cool though.
It'd be an experience.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be a vlog.
I think you
Yeah.
deserve a vacation too.
I think.
You've been going hard for a long time.
I'd say so. You've done well, man. You're only 22.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
For
I'm
real.
excited for your guys' growth.
Keep it
And
going.
we'll see you at the top.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Wishful Thinkers, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe to us, like, comment, share with your friends, share with your mother.
Comment if Nick can fly a plane and land it.
I better see tons of dubs in the chat because I'm flying that plane. Dude, I promise you. You want somebody like me flying that plane.
You heard it. You want somebody like Nick?
Wishful Thinkers, we love you. O'Day is kind of a ghost on social media.
A little bit.
So
I'll get back into it.
I'll throw your ad on there.
Go ahead.
He has no posts. You've seen everything you need to know for him right here.
Yeah.
That's it.
No need.
You'll hear about him one day. Trust me.
Yes, you will.
All right,
Yes,
Wish
you will.
Thinkers. We'll talk to you guys later.